when we talk about a manager's stock being up in Michel, that's not the case right now with Xavi Hernandez. And he was pretty concerned after his side's 3-2 win over Almeria, which, let's just say, was less than convincing. He said, my team worries me. The first half worries me. It's unacceptable. We need the soul we showed in the second half. I want a team that leaves everything on the field. That's what won us 2 trophies last year. This isn't 2010 Barca. We don't have the quality of 2010 Barca. Luis, you know Xavi very well. Are you surprised to see him as strong as this publicly after a game, saying what he's saying, and how angry he is too?
No, I'm not surprised. I think he's been holding back a little bit. He's been trying to find different excuses, different way of arriving to the player. But we talked after this game yesterday, and we were analyzing that situation. The first 45 minutes, the lack of intensity, the lack of aggressiveness, of desire, of determination that this team had. And we are talking about very young players who need to show a little bit more desire when they are playing. If they want to get to what they want to be at the end of the season, he's trying to win any trophies. And I think arrived a moment where he decided to just start pointing who he think that they are the ones who have to change this dynamic, because at the end, this is actually even better team than last year, and he was 100% more solid last year, 100% more effective, and this year you can see a little bit of complacency up front, a lot of chances, but no goals. We've seen Lewandowski not capitalizing the chances. Even Rafinha is probably one of the most creative players up front, but missing the last third. Joao Felix, who started very well, now is going down a little bit, so he was replaced yesterday after 45 minutes. So not long ago we heard about a little bit of this kind of complaint from Gundogan, and everybody was shocked about, oh, what a player, you cannot say that. But now Xavi, I think, is giving the right to say it because of his experience, because he's the total shoe. This team, if they want to be challenging for every trophy, they need to raise a little bit the intensity, raise a little bit what they desire, and try to be more effective up front and start from running 120% more of what they are doing at the moment.
Luis mentioned the young players, but actually the experienced players are reported to, well, we saw Joao Felix being subbed off, but the experienced players like Robert Lewandowski reportedly getting the hairdryer treatment at half-time in the dressing room, with Xavi saying, let's see if you can do some running. Yeah,
I don't see Xavi as the kind of manager to do that to somebody like Lewandowski, but maybe he did. But Robert Lewandowski had a lot to say for himself at the start of the season about the league, about the standard of refereeing, and about the style and the approach of his own teammates, when actually, now that he's uttered those words, which was quite some time ago, he's going to have to back it up at a time of need. And this restart in January will be that time, because I have seen nothing in the first half of the season to suggest anything else than he's got problems. He's got problems, and the problems are at both ends. And you could argue the middle of the park is a little shaky as well. But when you've got somebody like Ronald Araujo, who was solid as a rock last year, even the first goal against Almeria, he's sort of wafting a right leg at it, doesn't clear it, lets the ball bounce against Valencia from a high ball in, and they get the equaliser at the Mestalla. You know, don't even start me on the Girona game at the Montjuic. There was mistake after mistake. When all these experienced players are making these mistakes, it's a problem. They've got a tough draw in the Champions League as well. This is they've got Napoli, who have had a poor start to the season, sacked a manager. They might get ahead of steam, but if all these other sides are creating chances, Girona scored 4 against them. You know, Almeria scored 2. It could have been more. They haven't won a game this season. If they don't sort that out, what's maybe an inform with a head of steam Napoli going to do to them, and how's he going to potentially survive that? So he's got, and they're in America now, aren't they? They're in Dallas. So he's got a couple of weeks to figure it out. I would imagine, and maybe Luis knows, I don't know how much, if any, there's going to be movement in January in terms of signings, loans, because they're in America to get 5 million squiddly diddlies to get some money, so that ain't going to buy you a player. So I don't even know, Luis, if he can make any changes to the squad, or this is what he's got between now and the end of the season, and they're going to have to figure it out.
And to add to that, Luis, if this is what he's got, how they do figure it out, do you see that happening?
Yeah, exactly. It's because I don't think that one player or two players are going to change the dynamic of this team. It's about trying to change the mentality. This is a team that, again, last year won the La Liga. So to win La Liga, you have to be so consistent that on the daily basis, you're working the same way, you are drilling well, you're training well. And that means that right now, bringing a player or two players is not going to change anything. Probably what most important is that they regroup once again. They took between them. They start showing that if they don't work together, this team is not going to win anything this season, because the way that Girona is playing, the way that Real Madrid, even with all the injuries that they have, and very soon they are going to start recovering players. Atletico Madrid is going to be challenging again. If they win tomorrow, they're going to be with the same points and trying to get back to the top position. So I don't think that one player is going to make the change, and I don't think that they can find the right player, because we are talking a transfer market in the winter. It's very difficult to get good players. All the good players are already in their teams looking for qualifiers for the Champions League and thinking about the rest of the season, not thinking about making a good transfer. So I don't think that Barcelona is trying to find that player, but much more to focus on trying to change the dynamic of the team.